Hello and welcome to I'll Sleep When I'm Done Talking, into which we don't sleep until we shush 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 shush. No, that's not quite right. That's the opposite. That's shushing ourselves. I got a better opening. Hello and welcome to I'll Sleep When I'm Done Talking, in which we don't sleep until we honk honk snoo snoo. I'm Connor.
I'm Damon.
And today we're talking about bedrooms.
Yeah.
Now, I might need to explain what that means, because I've just put the title as bedrooms. I've just kind of thing. But what we're talking about is using the bedroom as a space, because obviously we recently, both of us, have been rearranging our rooms in a very big way.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was a very fun idea to do it as a topic, do it as a fun little podcast episode. Wahoo!
Yeah.
Have a good time. So I think the first thing we'll talk about is our history of bedrooms over the years. The history of bedrooms. Will be historians for this one, apparently. So would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I guess I'll kick it off, yeah. I don't remember my first bedroom because I was a little baby boy, so I can't remember that far back.
Where indeed,
remember,
yep.
Yeah, big where-wheres.
Big
First.
Oh, you can tell we're tired.
Oh yeah, I am. It's only 8:30.
It is only 8:30.
We were originally recording these at like way later.
Yeah, but then we had to wind it back a bit, so it went from like 10 to 11 p.m. to like 8:30, 9:30, which is what we are now, but we're a lot more tired now.
Oh yeah. Life's been catching up to us.
I wish it stopped. I wish it didn't. Anyway.
Anyway, yeah, the first. Well, no, technically I had kind of not two. It wasn't two. I just like swapped around bedrooms, a little bit. First bedroom I was in, it was like, right next to my brother's bedroom. We were both at the end of one end of the house. So like fairly basic setup from what I remember. I was so little at the time. I barely even remember. But we were originally in there. I think because at the time my granny was living with us. So she was occupying the other room in the house, which when she passed away then became my bedroom.
Oh.
And I was yeah. And that means I, for a short while, inherited an ensuite, which is I miss having an ensuite so much. And like since then it moved over into this house where like I of course don't have an ensuite anymore.
Sad. Rest in peace.
Yeah, big rip.
That's so funny to say after the previous statement.
Yeah.
Oh, we're tired.
I was like 6, I think. I don't know. Memory is even more foggy when I'm tired.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, like that original bedroom was probably like, I want to say it was a little bit bigger than my current bedroom, but then again, I was tiny, so my sense of scale was just totally out of whack at that age. Like everything looked massive. I had like I had a box TV in my room, which was sat on top of like a pretty typical standard setup that you would have for a box TV, and it looked like massive to me. Like I think the little VHS slot was basically at my eye level of height.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I sat on the floor just like watching the TV for like hours on end. I don't know how I didn't get a crick in my neck or anything. But it was good. It was a nice bedroom as well. It's like pretty standard from what I remember. So that's my bedroom origin story.
It's your bedroom origin story, yeah. Because
Yeah, so it
so
was pretty standard setup. Like, well, standard. I guess it was standard to me. Like I had a bed in the middle of the room. It really wasn't a standard setup. I was a fucking lucky bastard and got a whole ensuite and everything.
yeah, jeez.
Yeah, but like I had a bedroom, had little drawers. I had my wardrobe, had my bathroom and everything. It was like it was. I definitely remember glimpses of like going in between that bedroom and the other bedroom, which was probably during the time my gran was still alive. So that may have been it.
Hmm.
But like I didn't know what was happening at the time, so I mainly just remember the ensuite bedroom.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
I guess because again, like you were saying, of like that you had that room and then you moved into the house you're in now and you had that room,
Mm.
and I'm like, wow, we have a
Well,
lot of
we did live in a different house before
yeah,
that,
but
like
like you
quote unquote first bedroom, but I have
yeah, you'd no
no memory
memory.
of that
Like
house whatsoever.
my memories would go back to like if I'm describing a room, it would maybe go back to like because I catalog how my room looks
Oh
since
yeah,
2017.
damn.
I've been taking photos of my stuff and watching what comes and goes, what collects over time, and it's really interesting to look at. Um, but prior to like me collecting those things, I don't have many memories of any of my bedrooms. But also, I moved around so much, so like they probably all blend together in some mess or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
As a kid, I had a race car bed. The only memory of me actually having that is
You had a race
is
car bed.
pictures of various family members putting me to sleep and also falling asleep in the race car bed of like grandparents and aunts and like mom or whatever. Like we just had like a small collection of photos of just a series of people sleeping in that bed with
Uh,
me.
I
Um,
remember like thinking that race car beds were the coolest thing as a kid
they
because they would always be on like TV
they
shows
fucking
and everything.
are like. I think what probably annoyed my parents was I was still a scaredy cat as a 5-year-old child. Like maybe not five, but whatever old. Yeah, probably was around about 5, 6 or something. I would still like run to their room and they're like, "But we got you the bed. Oh my god, it goes vroom vroom. Just sleep in it. You sleep in the car. Why don't you sleep in your car?" Um, but like, so I don't really remember too
I
much.
love that. Like it goes vroom vroom. Just go to sleep.
It was a red one too. Like it's like the race
Yes.
car bed. And then the only other memory I have like prior to that room, like prior to the rooms I have like photos of, is one room in which I had a bunk bed in it. Like this is the house prior to when I started up
Ooh.
photos. Had bunk bed in it in which. I think my brother maybe used to sleep on the. I don't know. I had a bunk bed in which I put all my stuffed toys up on the top bunk, and then I slept in the bottom
Nice.
bunk, and then I had my big bookcases and whatever. Because those, like my big bookcases, the black ones
Ah
that
yeah.
I've just sold, which I'm like, oh shit, like I just had to because I don't have the space. I've kind of had them since like forever, like probably
Oh
around
wow.
about maybe. I maybe had like the first one within the room I'm talking about now, which would have been when I was in primary school.
Wow.
And
They've been around.
yeah, and now only now saying this, I kind of regret selling them, but also we don't have the space. I can't be
No, that's
attached.
fair.
We don't have the space for it. But
Yeah.
and also lugging that up 4 flights of stairs and lugging it down 4 flights of stairs kind of killed any emotional attachment to it. Um,
Yeah, true. It would.
by that logic, having children is scary. I don't care about you
It
anymore. I
is.
carried you up flights of stairs. I'm done now. But parent, because we haven't worked out what you prefer to talk about, which one you prefer to have. Yeah. Hmm. Anyway, I had, and this probably is a topic for a different episode. I had like this big Lego, like I called it Lego Island because Lego City was the main brand, and I had my own stories to tell, and it was on Lego Island, which is technically its own separate brand of Lego, but shush, I didn't know that as a kid. Shush. But like it was this whole like set of like Lego over the course of like so many bookshelves and things, and it had like of where all the things were, and that all like it's a whole other story, my Lego, and genuinely I'm like that probably is another episode. But like
yeah.
the first room I have like explicit photos of, which is the room I probably spent the longest in, of about 4 years.
Oh wow.
Which is crazy when I have moved 16 times and I am 21.
Yeah.
That
It's too
I
much.
stayed in a place for 4 years.
You've moved too much.
But yeah, no, this room. Oh shit! I have photos on my phone. I have the 2 big bookcases. I have like the desk, and then I have a little cube shelf, which is like 3 cubes, which I had all my Captain Underpants books on and all my video games. And I was just looking at it before when you were talking. I was like, shit, I had like 4 GameCube games back in 2017, and now I have 6. No, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 7 now, and I bought another 2, so that's 9.
Nice.
But that's crazy. That it's well, I mean, they
Yeah.
cost so much money. Like that makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, they cost a lot.
But yeah, no, this space was very much like it's so crazy looking at it now, looking at these pictures, because I'm like, oh, I still had all my like all these older books that I don't have anymore, that I just had on shelving or whatever. Like, I don't know about you, but I had like too many of like those like book following kid protagonists doing everyday life. Like your Diary of a Wimpy Kid, your Big Nate, your Tom
Oh,
Gates, your
yeah.
Timmy Failure, you're like, well, that one's a bit different, but like just a
I
bunch
gotta
of
be
those.
honest. I only know about Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah, no, fair, because that's reasonable. I just the Tom, was it the Tom Gates? Those I got like a box set from like extended family, and I read through like
Oh, wow.
all of them. The only ones that I have actively kept is the Big Nate ones, because they are still good and they don't suck to read like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. When I gave all those books to my brother because he started reading them, and I was like, I don't know if I read these anymore. So I was like, I'll read through my favorite one. I'm like, I got like 5 pages in and went, wow, this is an awful protagonist. Like, you are hard to read because you were the worst.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can go back to that series, honestly. Like, with an adult's eyes.
No,
because it's following a middle schooler.
Yeah, I was like, wow. And then I was like, oh no. And then I went and read like one of my favorite Big Nate books, and I'm like, still good. I was like, not like, again, not amazing, but I was like, I still like this. I'm gonna keep it.
I think I dropped off.
Wow, I had like 2
dropped off of
comic
the series,
books
like,
back
after-
then. Fucking crazy. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
It's all good. I think I dropped off of Diary of a Wimpy Kid like after the movie came out,
I
because like
assume yeah.
that somehow like kind of recontextualized a lot of things about the series for me.
Was it? I think for me it was 1, 2. It was book 9 I dropped off of after that.
Oh, fuck it, which one was book 9?
The Long Haul, which is what they made the
Oh,
remake
yeah.
movie of live action,
Oh yeah,
which I
yeah,
did
no,
watch.
like
Not
I
by
stopped
choice.
reading like basically after the book before The Long Haul.
Hard luck.
Okay, maybe it was before that.
The Third Wheel.
Oh god, I don't remember anymore.
I only remember because I'm looking at a picture with all of them.
Oh my
I
god.
say all of them. There's like
It
15
may have been
now.
the Third Wheel. Oh god.
But yeah, no, I'm just looking. Like, I'll get distracted and lose myself in these pictures. I'm supposed to be talking about my rooms, but yeah, no, like they're like I just had a lot of things on display. I think this is the room that I first did what I would call the top bookshelf display. Now, for those who don't know, I'll try and actually post pictures in like when I'm like editing this here and there, just to like just in like cases like this is like here's an example of what I mean. Here's how it's changed over time. But yeah, no, it's so it would pretty much just be a bunch of knickknacks or little figurines or figures that I wouldn't really have a place for, so I'll just put them all up in the one spot.
Ah, yeah.
Because I
I see the
don't know where
Simpsons
I would put it.
DVDs and the
Yes,
plushies and
yeah,
everything.
that was all my TV shows.
Damn, that's that's small in comparison to what you have now.
Yeah, which is like almost 4 times the size.
Yeah.
Actually, probably is around about. Oh, yeah, not quite 4 times the size, but pretty fucking close. But yeah, and this picture here, which I will show up, it's got all my like the Skylanders underneath it and some amiibos, my Disney Infinity, some of the pop vinyls I had out of the box, which most of them are. How many of these do I still have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one went back in the box. One I've given away. One I'm giving to you. No, 2 I've given away. One I'm giving to you. Yeah, it's a bunch of like. Oh, you got like Sonic the Hedgehog sitting there with different sunglasses than what he used to. That's the sunglasses he used to wear. He used to wear cool sunglasses before I gave him the Urkel glasses.
Yeah. The wizarding glasses.
Yeah, the wizarding glasses. But yeah, like this is the first picture of my room, and then the next room I had after that would have been. This is a long part of history. Okay, I definitely gotta send you the next picture. I guess I'm just gonna be posting a lot of pictures of my room, like this, but how this shelf has maybe evolved, because like it's so interesting, and I think it'd be interesting to maybe show like, which is gonna be so fun when I potentially and eventually turn this purely into an audio thing, like upload it to like a Spotify, or like if I end up deciding to commit to doing something like that when it's not just on the YouTube. That's very funny to them. Be like, oh, I'm gonna reference visuals. But yeah, no, this room, how the setup changed is so dramatic. Like immediately it shifts so much in color and what's up there and how much I still have and where it's gone.
Yeah. God, it's crazy.
And then it shifts so dramatically again, and then again.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
again.
that's what when you had the like the glass cabinet thing.
Yeah, which I still have, but now I have just the one. That's how I stacked my. Okay, that explains how I. Yeah, okay, cool. I should look back at these old photos just for reference to now. But yeah, no, that's the thing. I still don't know what I'm doing with that now, because I don't. That box is still sealed up because I don't really have a spot for that anymore because I got rid of those bookcases. Which again, I'll work out at some point. But yeah, that was a big thing in my room, is that my room would slowly evolve and change. It was very cluttered. It was very much a lot of stuff on display. The next place after that place, the next main place, was the place I lived in a small room for a bit, and that was all right. Like that was something that was cool. I'll update the picture for everyone at home. You could see that how the books have shifted, and look like more manga. That's nice. Anyway, I can't be talking about my collection because that's a different topic. That's something else. That's forever. But yeah, no, I would just.
That's a 10-part miniseries.
10-part miniseries. The bookshelf. The other bookshelf. But no, I then moved into. My grandfather moved out because he had to go to a home, and so I got the granny flat. Now, the granny flat was really good for me. Again, it was the thing of like having my own bathroom, like having that space. I had a big old TV. I had like the old lounge room TV, which would have been about like 40-inch. I had the old lounge room TV. That was my TV until it died.
Rip.
But yeah, and then I had someone else's TV at some point. But yeah, no, I had it was a good space. It was great. It was a big space. I had my own couch, my own lounge room, my own desk area. I really liked it. But obviously, we just had to move again. And look, it was a thing where I was looking at it being like, what was exciting about the granny flat was I was like, there's a lot of potential here. It's a big space, and there's still space I can fill in. But it was starting to get a little bit tight. I don't know if you've looked at my movies, but all my Blu-rays are on that one shelf in the the picture with like where you could like the. I forgot I had that pop vinyl. That one's long gone.
Which one is that?
Sam's friend from Dr. Seuss, the one that's next to Ian Malcolm and Dr. Octopus in the third image I overall sent you. Yeah.
Okay.
The one with like you see like all the stuff on the top and then the pop vinyls in the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. But yeah, no, that like shelf under the Skylanders up to like it's like that's all my Blu-rays and then the Marvel stuff. Now now think about how many Blu-rays I have now.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit, with a capital
So
everything. But yeah, no, I really liked that spot, but like, you know, we had to move. There's a lot of money. We moved during like the middle of term 3 in year 12.
Oh yeah, that was.
And they were like, "We're moving this date. What are you doing?" I'm like, "I have sports day. I'm going to it." And like I went every other year because like I had to, but I was like, "No, I'm making sure." But yeah, no, it was like, and that place was a small room. My room went from a big like area to like a tiny room, to which all my movies had to actually be moved outside into the lounge area or to the outside regular place. It couldn't stay in my room, and that room I did my very best to make it the best thing for me. It moved around probably about yes. That was the one I moved around about 2 to 3 times. To where the end product was my bed sitting on the cupboard. Because it was a sliding door cupboard, I put the bed up onto that because I was like, I don't need all the space in the cupboard. I need all the space everywhere else. So I gotta have a TV set up, I gotta have my desk set up, I gotta have my glass cabinet of Lego, my glass cabinet of collector stuff, like my like Ninja Turtles collectibles and whatnot and everything. Like all that stuff, I have all that collection things, all that and everything. Like, I just had a bunch of room, and when I would invite people over to watch movies or something, because I wanted my own space. Now, that was a thing that and it's very funny to say in 2019, but I really did want my own space and have my own area and stuff. And what I would do is when I'd have guests over to watch movies or something, I would flip up my bed, like, because I'd have one of those, like... not like I didn't have like a bed frame or anything, but I had like the mattress and then like the thing underneath it that held up the legs. It was also kind of like a mattress with springs in it. So I would flip it up, take all the sheets off, put that down on the spring thing, and that would become a couch that I would have everyone sit on so we could go and have a good time and still enjoy media or whatever when we're in my room.
Yes.
But that space became really challenging, especially around 2020.
Oh, yeah.
How was your room when the apocalypse hit? How did it feel? How's it go? We'll cut back to you. How was your room?
Jeez.
If you remember
it. Oh, yeah, no, my memory's pretty foggy from 2020.
Yeah, that's fair.
The first half is, at least, because, like, the second half I spent just doing a certificate at TAFE. But the first half, because what my plan was like after graduating and, like, have the Christmas break and everything, my initial plan was to go get a job. That didn't happen, of course.
Cut to me getting a job 3 weeks before the apocalypse hit.
Yeah.
Not even that. I think it was 2 weeks. I got my first paycheck, and then, like, the next week, it was like, this shit's getting fucked.
Yeah. It was rough. It was pretty bad. Because that was... Funny story. That was also like roughly just only a few months after I started dating.
Oh yeah. Well. Oh yeah, that would have been.
So it was
rough.
like, God Damn it.
I hate to be like, cut back to me, but I think it's very funny in the circumstance of how we were going in that time. Because you're like, I just started dating, damn it. Cut to me being like, I'm fine. because that was when, I can say this in the podcast. I was like, that was when like old friend had left. They left
Yeah.
in December of 2019.
Mm.
So I was trying to get friends at uni so I could make more friends and kind of forget about how the last year had ended. And then obviously 2020 happened.
Yeah, I started dating in like December of 2019 as well. So yeah, the timing was a bit.
You started
hectic.
dating. A friend and I ended. A good friend and I just stopped being friends. Oh, but tell me
Yeah,
about how you went.
yeah.
Um,
It was rough because like I love just being outside in general. It's very very nice, very therapeutic for me. Um, I know for a fact that like even though I love doing indoor stuff like just playing video games and just like writing stuff until I pass out. I definitely just need outdoor time and not being able well, like specifically outdoor time, I usually mean either just sitting outside and just chilling for a little bit, or the thing I prefer to do more, which is just go out and just drive for like hours so I can find something new. And that was a habit I picked up basically after I got my P plates, my driver's license, and just suddenly being forced to just not go anywhere was a bit rough. So I really had to make do with just what I had at the time. Because this is also before I got my Switch. I got my Switch like just before Animal Crossing came out, basically. So I
yeah.
couldn't like, yeah, and that's kind of like my apart from my PC. That's my main console at the moment. But yeah, it was.
So how did that affect your room?
How did it affect my room? Oh my, oh my.
How did your
I
space
honestly
feel?
cramped.
Yeah, and
Because like for a while, I was like, I was wishing I had a bit more space, but I was like overall pretty content with what I had. Like I already knew that the situation I was in was a fucking lot better than a lot of other people had their bedrooms in. But as time went on, and you know, like being 18 and like I wasn't being pressured to move out or anything, but I definitely wanted to move out. It definitely was starting to feel more and more cramped as time has gone on, and it hasn't stopped.
oh no.
Yeah, so I don't know if I was like rearranging my room or anything at that time. I don't think I was. I think I did a couple.
Like maybe minor
I think I did a
things.
couple. Yeah, like just like swapping my desk and my bed around. I did that a couple
The only
times.
thing I explicitly did around about that time was I cut up my Legend of Zelda 2019 calendar, or 2018 calendar, and I stuck it up on the cupboard so that way my Zoom background looked a bit more interesting. Um,
I didn't
I
know about that.
I didn't mind I didn't mind the space I was in. You probably didn't see it because I had the bed flipped up when you came around.
Oh yeah,
But I didn't.
yeah. I could say it was still definitely smaller than what's my space
Oh,
is.
definitely. Fuck. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I didn't mind that room. Like, that room was a bit cramped, but it did feel very me. And again, I'm very much a maximalist. I prefer to be in
Yes.
a space full of things rather than an empty space full of nothing.
Yeah. Same.
And it was an interesting thing in which before that I didn't want I was like, oh, I can, I'll move out when I'm ready because I don't need to right now. The first 3 months of COVID, like of like being of like my parents working from home and me also uni from home and everything, being like, this isn't so, this is all right, this isn't so bad. The next preceding 3 months ended with me explicitly being like, I need to move out as soon as possible.
Oh yeah.
Like,
did I know you that well around that time?
Okay, so one of the things I remember is
definitely
around about
remember-
June of 2020 was when we sat down and watched all 4 Toy Story films, and that was one of the first times we properly hung out.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure we definitely hung out, like, or at least maybe not hung out, but we definitely.
Was that in a group of people?
It was you, Eric, and I. It was at
Okay.
Eric's old place.
Why don't I remember that?
It was a very
weird.
different
I definitely-
time. It was Eric's old place. I
definitely
was
do
way
remember.
before transition.
Oh yeah.
I was way before
I definitely do remember watching Toy Story 4 with you guys
Yeah.
because my feelings on it were mixed.
Yeah, no, we watched all 4 films that day.
Mm.
Yeah, no, that was funky.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, that's bringing back memories. Oh, that's scary. Like, some of the memories, I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, because I definitely remember you talking about like just having a rough time. I don't think you went into extreme detail.
No, because
about it, because like
we
didn't know each other that well.
That, and I'm also very bottled up. I was around about that time, and one of the lessons I learned from this is so off topic. I think it's going to be called Bedrooms and Other Things. Bedrooms and 2020. But around about that time, because one of the things that that was the falling out between an old friend and I, it was the fact that I kept to myself too much. Like, I was too like tied up in my own self. That like old friend was like, I want to know more about you. I want to learn about you. Let me try and untangle that for you. And then because it was the one person who did it, I put everything on them. Which, you shouldn't be doing. But no one else no one else was explicit in that wanting. So I didn't want to burden other people, and I didn't know how to handle things, and that was all there. And then over the course of at least the back half of 2020, at least from about April onwards, was a lot more of like me like trying to like adjust myself and chatting to friends, and because that was 2020 was also the year I learned I'm an extrovert instead of an introvert. Because I always thought I was an introvert.
Oh yeah.
But then I realized, no, I need to be hanging out with people. It's not good. It's bad being alone. Oh, no.
Yeah, you're very extroverted.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this sucks. This is actively really bad. Oh, no. And then, yeah, obviously, like, what was the next bedroom I had after that one? Because that bedroom I had all the way into 2021.
I think you moved into the apartment after that one, right?
No. It will get to that. So the next space I had was when I was moving out of there, because they needed us. The place wanted us to leave. My parents were building a place. I had kind of wrangled up a few friends together to go and move in. To move in together. I had some money saved up. We were good to go. We found a place. We locked it in. We started the move there. But then the real estate that my parents were with were like, oh, yeah, so we're gonna get everyone out. We just want you all to leave. And my parents are like, but our house isn't finished. Could you give us a little bit more time until the house we're building is finished? And they're like, no. And so it was a very interesting thing of like, oh, and my parents are like, could we? And I'm like, until we get our other roommate in, yeah. No, it's like, don't worry, we'll be there for like maybe 2-3 weeks at most. Just to stay at your place for a bit, like, that's fine. I'm like, okay. And we moved all the way up to location. So like, and that was good. We started setting things up. like, and it was a big house. I was genuinely really excited about the space. It was a good size. It didn't have an aircon, which luckily we moved out just before summer properly hit. That my parents kind of copped it a bit in there. Kind of really sucked. But it was such a big space. It had so much room. It was a 4-bedroom place. It had 2 lounge areas. It was great.
2 lounge areas?
Yeah. Yeah, it was really like it was a dining area and then like a lounge, like it was a dining and living area and then like a lounge area.
Oh wow!
Like it was a big house. It was really good.
It's crazy.
But then good friend backed out because their parents found out that they were moving. They wanted to move out and they weren't telling them, and so then they didn't. But hey, look, for the benefit of them now, they have a lot of, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They have a lot of money set aside for a house.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, it was very much it was a really good space, and like I had room to buy another bookcase afterwards.
Hell yeah. You always need more bookcases.
But like I had space, I was very excited. I was gonna get the master bedroom, which I got to try out for a week, and honestly, I was like when my parents were away and I was doing uni stuff and like to stay here, you're fine. It was really good. I was really excited for it. But yeah, just that a friend backed out, and I couldn't like do anything about it. I had to move. We wouldn't have been able to pay it, which is crazy because that rent is so much cheaper than the shit I had to pay for now. But so then after about a month of living there, we moved again to the apartment that we all know, in which because at the other place I didn't get to do much with my room. My room was just filled with boxes and my bed because it wasn't my permanent room. I was going to move into the master bedroom, so you know that's kind of where I was, and it wasn't particularly great, but you know it was.
You made do.
I made do with the room, and hey, it wasn't too bad of a room. Like I still had my TV set up, and I could watch TV and still lay in my bed. It was nice. It wasn't too, even though I didn't really do it too much, and my desk was right there. Again, it was it wasn't too bad. I kind of wish we were able to keep that house, aside from the air conditioning issue. That house would have been really good, but alas, we had to go to the apartment. Now the apartment, wow, did my bedroom change in that apartment a bunch. And you were there from day dot because you helped us move in there.
Oh yeah.
So because we were listening to Dinosaur Park while doing up the bed.
That's right.
And so that room changed around a hot bunch. Like it was, at one point, like I had it so like my desk was at a wall and all that stuff, and all my bookcases were around the lounge room. All the stuff, all the collection on top and everything, all in the lounge room, all there. So my room was just sort of like my bed, my desk, all my other collectibles. My glass bookcases could not make it up with me because it was 4 flight stairs and I didn't trust myself. So they stayed down there.
Fair.
But that room changed around a bunch.
It did.
It stayed one.
You've messaged me a few times, just be like, I need to change my room around.
Yeah.
And just me go, like, but you just changed it like the other month.
Because so here's the thing. So the first major change was I just swapped my bed around. I just moved my bed's location from like you know like a pretty decent, like it covers up most of the wall, but it covers up a lot of the room space. I have a queen bed. So changing it so it kind of blocks off the bathroom, like the bathroom to the ensuite, but it leaves a lot more floor space, a lot more space in the wall. I'm a sucker for a good wall space. I love wall space so much. But yeah, no, I was just like, you know, I was like, changed that one. I was like, that's it. And then I went to Melbourne and I saw some family and we're chatting about some things. And then my other roommate, the other one we did get in afterwards, they're like, hey, a good thing that you should do with a desk is put it in the cupboard, because that way it's like soundproofing. And I'm like, oh, that's not too bad of an idea, because prior to my desk was right up to where Corey's bed was on his wall. So he had everything very clearly when I would do anything at my desk. And I'm very loud. I don't know if you know about this. But yeah, so like that was that, and then I put the put the desk in the cupboard and took all my clothes out of the cupboard, and I put that all up on the wall, as you would have seen. 'Cause that was the main look for my bedroom when we were just hanging out in there a lot.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah, I
main
saw
look.
that room change around so
You
much.
did. You were on call for the desk going in the cupboard. Um,
Yeah, I
but
was.
yeah, I was going to Melbourne and then chatting with like my cousins and my uncle and my aunt and family. Just like there was one point because my uncle, I guess, shout out to my uncle's YouTube channel. I hang on, let me bring it up. Like, I, it's genuinely it's a cooking YouTube channel. Um,
Huh.
what's it called? My Aussie Garden and Kitchen.
Ooh.
And it's my uncle. He's got like 4,000 subscribers. Like he's doing really well for himself.
Nice.
In which he just talks about gardening stuff and stuff like that. I was seeing how his setup was, and I just kept thinking about my setup, and I'm like, I gotta put it in the cupboard. I gotta put my desk in the cupboard, and it worked. It was a good spot. It was very funny when I was sending photos, and Eric was like, "That's not gonna fit in the cupboard." And then
But it
I
did.
took a photo of it afterwards, and Eric's like, no, I don't know, no, you can't. That can't have fit. That doesn't make any sense." And I'm like, it just fit, but it fit. Like, fucking hell. So then, which was a really interesting position because my room became very full, but in like a very nice, cluttery way because all my clothes were there, which probably also helped when I muffled all the wall because it would have
Oh
been muffled
yeah,
with all the
definitely.
stuff. I was really happy with how it was set up. Like it was, but then just before I moved again to the place I'm in now, um, which came about from the owners of the other place being like, "So we want to sell," and I'm like, "That's
Mm.
not good for me." Um,
Yeah, the Great Australian Renting Crisis.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
"Now? Are you kidding me? Hmm?
Mm.
Hmm?" Um, but hey, look, I would have rathered that than trying to find a place when our lease was up, because
Ah,
I feel
yeah.
like that would have been very scary.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I rearranged my room once more before because what was happening was in about January I got an email saying, "Hey, we want to sell," and I'm like, "Damn, that's fuck, that's not
Yeah.
good." And we were looking for places, but we just weren't getting anything back. And at that point, I had gotten your old desk because throwback to you.
Yes.
What was you doing? It's also we're both the hosts. I gotta remember that. I've just had a lot of
Yeah.
shit happen.
Oh yeah, you've had a
But yeah, let's
lot
cut
go
back to
on.
you.
Yeah.
How
So
was your room?
my room changed around like quite a bit, not nearly as much as yours has over the course of just time in general. Uh but like I've changed around my furniture quite a lot within the past year or two. I've been making like actively like swapping around my furniture because so much of it is like just like super old hand me downs that just don't really fit like what I like to see in furniture, I guess. Um, like before what I have now, the desk I had at the time, my computer desk was like one of the glass top ones that had the Z shaped legs, and I didn't like it from the start, but I kind of just dealt with it for a
Mm.
while. And I had that for how long did I have that? Oh man, I had it like since we moved in basically until maybe 2 years ago. I got the IKEA like Freddy desk. That's definitely not how it's pronounced.
The desk,
like,
the
calling
desk
it,
that I am recording this from right now.
yeah, which is just like it's such a nice desk as
I
well.
know, it's
And I
very
was
good.
like, yeah, and I was like just looking around to see like what type of desks I could get for ages. And I was like, I hear like IKEA's got some pretty good stuff. Maybe I should look there. And then I saw the Freddy desk, and I was like, I know exactly what I'm getting. And that was like the first instance where I started like actively replacing furniture. So I had that for a while. I had it for like how long? Maybe 2 years, 1 year, 2 years. I don't know. So I had that, and like that desk and my bed just kind of like swapped around for a bit. Uh, like my bed would sometimes be in the middle of the room, sometimes be up against the wall where my small window is.
Mm.
So that part changed up a lot, but like though, oof, God, I'm losing my trail of thought so quickly.
We are tired,
Anyway,
it's
the
fair.
yeah, the one part of my room that just didn't change for the longest time was where my TV was. Mainly because like that's where because for some reason this house is built very very strangely. I have like exactly one power outlet, just one socket, and then a TV signal not next to the power outlet. It's on the other side of the fucking room. So it was just this really awkward setup for a while where like all my electronics would just be kind of like strewn around the place, like going from wall to wall. It was absolutely terrible. And I had that. I had my old TV stand over there, which was a glass one, and all my old consoles on it. Eventually, at one point, I was like, I want to put my TV on the wall, which was a big fucking mistake.
Big mistake. It's like one of those like, you know what? I'm gonna put the TV on the wall.
Seriously, consider what you're doing. If you want to put your TV on the wall, especially if you're like as scatterbrained as I am, where you just thrive on changing things all around the area. So it stayed like that for a bit, and at first I was pretty happy with it. I thought it looked really cool, and I'd never had like a TV mounted on a wall before. That was just stuff that I would see in like hotels and things for the longest time. Thing is about my TV though, it's like it's not entirely flat screen. This is a TV from like 2009 or something like that. It's not super old, but it's got a bit of a behind to it, and it's not crazy heavy. But when I started to notice what was happening, and like even though we made sure that the TV was like in the right spot, it was in a secure place where it could definitely be held up. I started to notice a line forming behind the TV bracket. And I thought, that's not good, but it's not getting any bigger, so I guess it's fine. And then every now and then when I would like be away from the TV, I noticed that like that's tilting forward quite a bit. Maybe that's fine. I'm actually not sure about that part. And then there was just points where like in the middle of the night I would hear a creak, just a very small like little like creak come from the TV.
So scary.
And that was like basically the point where it was like I fucked up so bad here.
And then out of
This is
the
the
corner
worst
of the
decision I've
TV, hookah, hook, hook, hookah, hook, 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 hook.
I was like, this is the worst decision I've ever made for this room. I need to get it down. And like it stayed like that for a while. And like the reason it stayed, well, there was a few reasons why. One of the reasons it stayed like that for so long is because we had to take, we had to take the little TV stand thing off of it. But the way we removed it wasn't entirely correct. Some chips, there was some little chippage, some like inner pieces came out, and it made me very very worried that I would not be able to put the stand back on. So then that set me down like a spiral of like, oh god, I'm gonna have to replace the TV and everything. They're so expensive now. I don't want a smart TV. I just want a regular fucking TV that just does the normal
You
things.
pretty much just want the
And I was
TV
just
that
like,
I actually have in my room.
yeah,
which
basically.
is which is pretty good. It's very small. It's a box TV. It's about yay big. Like no, I have like my 32-inch, which is about the exact same size as your TV now. It's not a smart TV.
Yeah.
Where's the remote for? The remote's somewhere. It doesn't have like a Netflix button or anything. It's just a
Oh,
TV.
yeah. Yeah, my TV was like from way before like streaming services were like as big as they are now. But yeah, like after that, I was just like, after a while of that, I was kind of just stuck because I really want to just like drastically change up my room. And I was like, I can't really do that much else with this space because of the fucking like TV that's just on the wall right now. And so it stayed like that for a bit until I decided that like enough was enough, and I was like, I have to take the chance. I have to just like take the TV off, see if the stand will still fit. If it doesn't, then I'll figure something else out. um, so basically, like long, actually no, before that, like I was fully committed to the plan. I even drew up like a almost to scale plan of what I wanted my room to look at, which like I'll send to you so that you can put up on the screen.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll happily do that. I lie.
Yeah, and, like I showed, I showed that to you when I first made it, and it was like, all right, I'm actually committing to this. This is like, it's like I wasn't used to making changes that big, I guess, especially when it came to a space, not like I'm actively living in. And before that, like my room was pretty bland compared to now. Like it had like regular white walls except for a blue feature wall, which like I have to be honest, it's only blue because it was very early in transition.
Blue's a color.
Blue's a boy color. Let me put
I
that
wish I
up.
liked it more than, but I gotta be boy. I
God.
gotta represent.
I wouldn't have minded the blue if it was like a lighter blue, but it was just kind of like this kind of mid-tone blue that just didn't really work that well, honestly. And within a year, I was just like, I hate this wall. I don't like it at all.
Get rid of it. I'm done.
Yeah,
Boo.
and I did. So like,
a wall was just missing for a bit. Crazy.
Yeah, I just didn't have a wall for a while. So yeah, I was like, I showed the plans to my parents because I live with my parents, and they're like, "That sounds." yeah. Rent's expensive. But yeah, like they were fairly on board with it, and like I showed them my plans, and I was like, "Yep, that looks good." And then I told them I want to paint my walls green, and they're like, "Excuse me," which like they totally would have like, it would have been totally fair for them to be like, "No, just paint them white, just like the rest of the house. Like we're gonna be moving out of here anyway." But no, like they let me paint my walls green, and like when I first picked out the colors at Bunnings and showed it to them, they were like, "Are you really sure? That doesn't look good." And I was like, "I know what I'm doing. Let me do this."
And in fairness,
and like,
it didn't look good, but you knew what you were doing, and it looks good.
But I mean, like, I'll take some pictures of here at some point to show what it looks like. But like, painted the walls, like 2 walls are like this mid-tone, like kind of yellowish green. Not really very yellowish, but like it's definitely not like an emerald green or anything. It's like a nice leafy green, and then the rest of the walls are very light pastel-y green, which I think looks very, very nice. And it eventually won my parents over. They're like, all right, yeah, that looks actually pretty good.
Heck yeah.
Which is very fun. And in addition, I swapped everything around in my room. My bed is now where my TV used to be because I got it off of the wall and everything. I got a new TV
Have
stand.
I seen it
Moved my
since
desk
you
around.
moved? Like,
Yeah, you've seen it. Yeah, the space that I'm sitting in at the moment is like, because I've got like a semi L shaped desk, and by that I mean I got a different IKEA desk. It's like the Malm one that has like a little pull out side desk thingy,
mm,
and it's right next to my bed. It's a little bit cramped, but I'm planning on replacing my bed frame with a slightly smaller one because it's currently like a double bed mattress on top of a queen frame, which is very awkward. It's very weird. So it's a little cramped, but like it works honestly. And it's very nice. I recommend green for bedroom
if
colors.
you know what
It's
you're
very
doing.
nice. If you know
If
what
you
you're
know
doing.
what you're doing, green is a very good color.
Also make sure that you know how to paintball.
Well, I mean you can, but like no one's gonna force
we were
you.
able to do it, but then Eric came over.
It was like,
and
what the
it was
fuck
like,
are you guys doing? Oh my god, look at this man. No. Eric, when did you
he, like,
become
inspected
Italian?
everything.
Oh no, what have you done? Ah.
He like inspected everything, pointed out all of like the imperfections,
Wrong.
and then painted
Wrong.
every single fucking wall within an afternoon.
Wrong.
And I was like, how the fuck?
Eric just like looking over it, like hands over like chin and mouth, just being like, "What have you two been doing? Because you have clearly not done it well."
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I really miss about the only thing I miss about the desk that I gave you is that it has that upper shelf thing, which is very, very good for displaying little things. Like I displayed so many things on the top shelf, and I don't have that at the moment, but I'm gonna be getting other stuff that fills that.
Which is
void
fun
in my
because
heart.
it cuts to me being like, "Oh, I know what to use it for. My television." I have my Nintendo Switch, my PS4, my television, and the little orange smiley face guy thing that Eric gave us.
Oh yeah,
That's
the
on
little
my
phone
desk.
holder.
Is it a phone holder?
Yeah, it's a phone holder.
Oh, that actually could be handy. I don't know what it was. I was just like, oh yeah. Who is now at the moment sitting on top of my Abed Nadir from Community Pop Vinyl I have on my desk. I mostly just have a lot, because yeah, that's what your room kind of looks like at the moment. When my room, you haven't seen fully. You were there when we put all the stuff down, and my bed didn't have the bed frame up, and we just put all the desk stuff in the room. And you're like, you're laying down now, and I'm like, I don't know. And you're like, you're laying down now, and I'm like, I guess I'll lay. Oh, this is so nice. I didn't realize how much I needed to lay down.
No, you did not.
Mm.
I had to just like immediately as soon as we got like all the stuff in out of our cars, I was like, all right, it's resting time.
And I was like,
You
yeah,
need
rest
right
time.
now.
Like, we sit down, we just kind of chill. Like, no, well, you're laying down.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the moment, I'm actually kind of really happy with how my room has been laid out. Now, look, I'm gonna try and wrap this up a bit more. So pretty much just because obviously we've hit time, but we've got to both go to bed.
Yeah.
Because we have stuff tomorrow, because we're recording this on a night in which we actually have to do shit the next day. But
we would have done this last night, but I was
out
drinking.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of drinking. I had like 2 bottles of cider.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a thing of like, with my space at the moment, like, because yeah, pretty much the last question being like, what is your goal for your room? Because pretty much we've both done this big change in our room. Like, what's the vibe change? I'll go to you first before I go into describing my room and then what my kind of plan is.
Right. Well, I've had so much goddamn time to think about like what I want to the point where like I've basically got like the interior of a house planned out at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we're talking about like the actual floor plan itself, we'll have that up on here, so that's still there. But like, if like your vibes or whatever and whatnot,
Yeah, yeah, general vibes. I've got like a very good idea of what I would have in like a dream house, basically. Because I spend a lot of time on Pinterest.
That's a good place to be.
Yeah, that's what happens when you've been like living with your parents for all your life.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, like the goal for my room, it's to make it as cozy and naturey and like boho and maximalist as I possibly can, basically.
I am so excited.
Yes. So like at the moment, my walls, because like they've been painted, like I haven't really like attached to anything to them yet because I'm still honestly kind of trying to figure out like how I'm gonna configure things and lay them out. Because I want to get shelves. I want to get wall shelves for this space.
Heck yeah.
Since like I don't have the little desk shelf anymore. But the basic plan is to like I would love to get like some kind of like tapestry thing that I can hang above my bed, so like when I'm trying to fall asleep I could just stare into nothingness, basically.
Cool.
I've got like 4 plants in here already and I plan on getting more. I'm gonna get like a bunch of like fairy lights, some artificial plants as well to kind of fill up space. Basically, just trying to fill up space, essentially, before before we move out. Because like we do plan on moving out of here. I'm just trying to make the best of what I can until we do
Oh
that.
yeah, of course. Like it's like that's kind of mostly what you're doing. It's just trying to make the best of a given situation.
Yeah. I gotta figure out some kind of storage solution for my plushies as well, because they don't all fit on my bed.
Yeah,
Some of them are in my wardrobe, and I need to figure out something that I can do where I could just have them somewhere. I'm thinking of getting one of those like plushie nets that a lot
The
of
hammock things with all the plushies in it that
yeah,
I
the little
also really
hammocks.
want to do. Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
very very tempted by
I don't
that
know where
because
you
I'm like,
buy them.
I don't know either.
And also, what type of hooks? Like, you do obviously 3M, but you need like some more powerful ones, like a good solid like kilo hook thing.
What when you're a collector in your 20s, yeah, you can.
Like, I'm just thinking of the Sonic the Hedgehog head. I mean, like, that's gonna go in the hammock, and oof.
Don't forget the shadow head that's gonna be coming.
Yeah, I guess. Well, we're both.
I still need to get Tails and Knuckles.
Have you
heads
pre-ordered
as
the
well.
Shadow Head yet, or?
Yeah, yeah, it's been
I should probably
pre-ordered.
pre-order. We should go together, like how we got the Sonic heads together.
Ooh.
That actually might be really
yeah,
nice.
we got the Sonic Mochi heads
We got the
together.
big Sonic heads, you know. Because I didn't
It's
buy
so
it the
funny.
first time I saw it, and I really regretted it. And the second time I saw it, it was $10 more, so I really regretted it. But
Oh yeah,
but
yeah. We just like went.
we
into,
were
like, a
fighting
EB or
over
a
it
Zing
too.
or
Because
something.
we saw the one, and I'm like, oh, but I
There's
really
just
want
one.
it. But you're the Sonic boy,
And then
but
an
I really
employee
want it.
came up to us, and they're like, "Can I help you out?" And we were like, "Do you have any more of these?"
They're like, yeah, we have one in the back, and we're
And they're
like,
like, "Yeah, we should probably have some in the back."
oh, thank God, we both got a Sonic head. We're like,
Thank God they did.
Yeah. All
It was-
right.
oh, it was so funny.
Fuck yeah. And I have my big Kirby as well from like the same type of
Yes.
thing. But yeah, no, there's a very
And I've got my big Bulbasaur.
oh, fucking lucky son of a bitch.
Oh yeah.
Ah, fuck. But
Yeah, so that's my plan for my room, like cozy, maximalist, kind of boho, kind of witchy, plants, green, cozy.
yeah, no, fair. Which is really interesting because like my room, I'm looking to like. Because I was having a very bad time in February of this year. Because I was looking for houses, work wasn't doing great, it was just a big mess, my parents were away, so I was just looking after the house, and I just couldn't do... Everything was just a mess, it was just big too much. And while I was there, one of the things I was working on was what I wanted my room to feel like. And there was like a TikTok I was watching, and it was just like someone like acting out some dialogue that was like the audio, and I was listening to it, and I'm like, I just had it on loop for like 2-3 hours, and I'm like,
Oh wow.
yeah, which I still go back to it. I still go back
Damn.
to it because it's a very good one. But it's just the thing of like, this is the vibe at the moment. I'm like, but I could actually turn this into a room. I was like, which
Mm.
again, if you hear the audio, like that's a sad audio, but it was a clip from like Fantastic Mr. Fox. For context, it's the scene with the waterfall. It was like that scene. It was that audio, and I was like, okay. And I was thinking about Fantastic Mr. Fox, and that film was very Wes Anderson-y, very orange and yellows, and lovely colors, and I'm like, I kind of like that, which devolved into like, I want my room to be autumn colored. I want my room to feel like an aloof
Yes.
time traveler's room. Like
Yes. I remember
it's
you
just got a
telling me
bunch
about
of modern
this.
shit, old shit, whatever. I have the box TV, the record player, amiibos, a fucking Lego and stuff like that, and like it's just to feel like old and fun and comfy and cozy. Like I wanted a space in which I could feel the spectrum of emotions in and get rid of these fucking white walls. Oh my god.
Oh, don't get us started on
Oh
the fucking
my
white
god.
walls.
But
Oh.
yeah, and also the orange stuff is very 70s vibe. So
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
yeah.
Make sure it's like a good orange because the house I'm in is from the
I
70s
can't
and
paint the walls. I gotta work around shit like that. For example,
oh yeah.
lighting. Lighting, fake plants. 'Cause Jesus Christ, I couldn't look after a real one. Um,
That is fair.
like fake
Even just
plants.
like the illusion of having plants is
Oh
just
no,
really good
like
for you.
genuinely, like getting some plants would be really good. I like at the moment I have two cube cabinets on one side of the wall, which is right up against like the bed frame, like the foot of the bed frame, which is really good because I've segmented like a little space at the end of the bed to which I have like an old like bedside table or like a two drawer cabinet thing, which sits my box TV on top. Box TV is on top of that.
Mm.
It's a really good. I'll probably try and take a photo of this because I do quite like. This is most. Sorry, this is. I think I have like silent hiccups. This is like mostly unpacked, and I really like how this looks. It's a little cornered off space. I have my desk at the other side, which is also really good. Um, and then I'll be like, I've had to work with things. So like I've had issues of like, okay, I need a new bookcase for books. So I just got another cube one, which look isn't the best, but I don't have that much space. So I'm just again,
Mm.
you're working with what you have. That's like your main key thing you gotta learn is just like with this stuff is like, what do I have? What can I work with? What can I make? Because when I was looking at Pinterest, as I was recommended by a few people for like room
Mm-hmm.
designs, what I really liked was a space that was four things at once.
Mm.
So it was like an example being like there was a bed, and then above, like say like if it was above that was like a book, like was like a thing with like some plants on it or something. Then there was a TV cabinet, and all around the TV was like books or movies or whatever. Like it was very filled. Like within one wall, it was used for
Mm.
four different things, and that's
Yeah.
what the
Like
aim
one of
is.
the yes, one of my favorite interior things that I've stumbled across from Pinterest is just like I look at a lot of very eclectic type of interiors, so it's a little bit of
Hmm.
everything. It's from like a bunch of different decades. It's old stuff, new stuff, everything.
It's
And one
retro.
of my
It's dark
favorite things,
academia. It's 70s. It's 2010.
yeah, yeah. And one of them was specifically just this kitchen, which looked so fucking whimsical, dude. I
Fuck
think like
yeah.
if I remember correctly, it had like a skylight or something like that. But
Oh.
that wasn't the part I was interested in. I was interested in the way that like the actual kitchen itself was like designed and like the colors, dude. It like I love things like colored fridges and like stoves and ovens and stuff like that. Specifically, this one had like this nice like kind of muted green fridge, and just filled with so much clutter and so many different colors. And there was like it had like a brick wall and like brick flooring and everything. And I was like, that's what I want. That is exactly how I want my future house to look. It's just so nice. I'm pretty sure I have it saved somewhere. So
Eventually, I it'll be really nice when I do get my own place to just really deck it
yes.
out with like,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
like whatever. And obviously that will be complicated because the market and pricing, and given how I've seen houses being built, it's kind of shit.
Mm.
But depends on the people you build with,
Yeah.
because like it's sometimes
Mm.
it can just be like, okay, here's 3 designs, pick one. All right, here's like your yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, thank you. I want brick walls. I want a real 70s fucking,
Yes.
give me that.
I want to live in like a Scottish cottage type of
Oh fuck
situation.
yeah.
I love
But
brick. I love brick and I love
yeah,
stone.
but yeah. So I think like kind of wrapping it up, like it's a thing of like my room at the moment is like it's still definitely a work in progress. Like I've got all my pride flags, and I'm like I don't know where to put these
Mm.
because I'm with my room. I'm trying to also be like, because I'm looking at it right now, being like I can't see how I can customize this more. How will I change this
Yeah.
around eventually? Who knows? But I'm gonna have to start committing to putting stuff on the walls and stuff like that. But I want to make sure I'm doing it right. I'm doing it okay. I live in a townhouse now, which is good, better than an apartment.
Mm.
But you know, I still have the wall next to me is to someone else's place. Though I've only really heard too much
Yeah.
noise from the next door. From if we have the window open, then we can hear like the neighbors or whatever. But that's only in that circumstance. I just want to make sure that I'm not like too annoying or too soundproofing stuff. And honestly, kind of putting the plushy stuff up there might be a good idea. Um, because that
Mm.
would like,
Leave them a note or something. Just be like, hey, like let me know if I'm being
sorry,
too
I'm
loud or
loud.
anything. Yeah.
um, well, like it's the thing. Like anyway, but yeah, we'll kind of wrap it up there because we gotta go. Um,
Mm.
Thank you everyone for listening in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you liked our bedrooms. Open customizing.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy the stop sign on my desk. My lovely stop sign. Um, but yes, thank you everyone for tuning in, and good night.
Yes.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Enjoy your slumber. I hope you have
Bye
sweet,
bye.
lovely dreams in your own bedroom of comfort. And, you know, hopefully everyone will be able to find a space or an understanding of what they want is comfy and a good space and room. Good night.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Good
Enjoy
night.
your sleep.
Goodbye. Yes. You better enjoy your sleep.